Alrighty guys, so in this video, we're going to be talking about option 1 and option 2. Alright, so we're going to go over to Raj's example here, option 1, option 2. Let's see here if he has them. He kind of has a little bit out of order. These are actually how it works. Let's see here. He kind of put the how it works before the options. Okay, so once you just explained, you explained all of the new activities, okay? And the customers and prospects at this point have bought into the new activities. Now we need to give them some, we need to put we're going to start framing for the sale. This is where the sale does not start until C1. Okay, C1, now we actually start selling. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, all right, there's a few options to do those activities, okay? You can use this, but that will give this results. It costs this much, and it takes this amount of time, okay? So the alternatives to these, and you can have products, you can have services. It could be yourself, the prospect doing it themselves. So you can say you could do it yourself, but it's going to be really hard. It's not going to work. It's also really expensive. The learning phase is really expensive, and it takes like 2 years, okay? You can use an agency, but the agencies aren't going to get you the yield that you want. They're going to charge you $6,000 a month, and it's going to take you like 3 months to get ramped up, and it's going to be a big waste of time, okay? You can read a book. However, it's going to take you a long time to implement a lot of the concepts, and it's cheap, but it's going to take you a long time, and the opportunity cost is going to be really, really high. So what we're doing here is we're mapping out the options. So option 1 and then option 2. And we're going to be mapping out the alternative options, the results, the price, and the time of the alternative. So we're basically saying you can do all this stuff, but it's really bad. You don't want to do it, okay? And this is actually how to sell. Notice that most people will just start at C2. These explainer videos, they'll just start they'll start at C1. But, you know, we just did a whole hour of framing before we even got to C1. So that's why it's super, super important that we do the framing first. Because without the proper frame, people are not going to care. They're not going to care. All right? So you want to frame it the hard way and then map out all the hard outcomes. And then you want to introduce yours. Option 2 is your solution. Or, so you're going to say you can use this, this, and this, but it's expensive, it's time consuming, doesn't even work. Or you can use, this is where you get to the solution. Or you can use Thinkster math, and it's better, faster, cheaper than all of these by a factor of 10. Okay? So, or you can do that. And you can see here on Raj's page, now if you wanted to do this before using Thinkster math, you'd have to do this, right? Or you can use Thinkster, okay? So there's you're doing a comparative analysis for the customer, okay? So that's how it works. So option 1, map out all the alternatives. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, or you can use our stuff. And then you can break this up into multiple slides in the video sales letter. And then it's just like, you just unveiled the solution. It's at this point where we unveil the solution, okay? So you don't even talk about your solution all the way up until this point, okay? So it's at this point where we unveil. And then we're going to jump into D1. We're going to quickly remind the prospect who this is for. So we just unveiled it, and then we are reminding the prospect. And by the way, this will work if you are this person, okay? So you're just quickly going back over who this is for, okay? So you just unveiled it, and then you say, oh, by the way, you're in the right place if you're this person, this person, this person. You're just reminding. Remember, humans are like goldfish, okay? They have very terrible memories. And then once we introduce the solution, then we actually get into the case studies. So now we get into the case studies. This is where we get into the really in-depth case studies, okay? The before state, the after state, the time frame, the evidence, okay? The quotes, okay? There's a quote. There's an explanation, okay? So again, you can say, and you can introduce the social proof as well. So social proof and case studies. So 5,000 people have been using this. We've been featured in all over the world. And let me just share some stories. Okay. So case study, case study, case study, case study. Okay. This is where you just dump the case studies. Okay. So why do we repeat the case studies here? So again, there's a moment in time. Here's what's really happening with the sales letter here, guys. We're aligning the stars. Okay. So there's a moment in time when they know the activities, they know the alternatives, they know the product, and we're just aligning the stars perfectly. There's a moment in time. This only lasts for like a minute for the whole prospects and customers journey. It only lasts, you align the stars for like a minute. And that's when it clicks for them and they're like, okay, they're going to make a buying decision. Okay. So when we have their attention, we just introduced the product. We introduced all the activities. Now we don't leave anything up for chance. We don't leave anything up for chance. Okay. Then we just start hammering the case studies, hammering the stories. Okay. These case studies can be as in-depth as you want. And that's totally fine. Okay. Then once we introduce all the case studies, okay, then we explicitly map out the benefits. Okay. So you explicitly state how your solution is better, faster, cheaper than some of the alternatives. Okay. So now we're going to say, you're going to be able to do this. Here's what's going to happen when you buy it. You want to explicitly map out. Don't leave anything up for chance. Again, we're aligning the stars. Okay. So don't leave anything up for chance. Here's what's going to happen. So you just dumped your case studies. Now we're getting into the benefits. Instead of doing this way, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be able to get this outcome. You're going to be able to do this. You can get rid of this. You can finally get rid of this. You can forget about this. Okay. You're going to feel like this. Okay. So we're explicitly programming the prospect to think in terms of benefits. Now, at this point, they trust you, they like you, they got value. So when you start just explicitly telling them benefits, they're absorbing it. They're absorbing all of it. Okay. This is the black magic stuff, guys. All right. Aligning the stars. You guys will think, well, Nick, I'm already explaining my benefits. Why do I got to say this? Well, I already explained my case studies. Why do I got to do this? Trust me, guys. It's black magic. Okay. Okay. Good explanation. It's black magic, guys. Okay, we're aligning the stars perfectly and we're just hammering in the sales argument. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You're going to be able to, this is an example. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to be able to generate leads. And when you're on video, it's so certain. All right, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be able to do this. You're going to be able to do that. You're going to get this. You're going to get to this state. Okay, so that's how that works here, guys. So you have your activity summary, your option 1, option 2, the case studies, the benefits, and then we get into the features and how it works. Okay. So, I'm going to stop this video here and I'm going to do a new video for features and how it works. Okay. Just so it's a little bit more organized.